The original people there were Bushmen who aren't particularly related genetically to the Bantu, the black people who live there now, and obviously not to the Europeans. So the situation with regards to ethnicity and race in South Africa is a lot more complicated than it appears on the surface. And so, well, that's what we're trying to puzzle out in this podcast. So join me and my guest, Dr. Ernst Roots, for that discussion. So this is likely to be an unsettling conversation, so we might as well dive right in. The first thing I think that people who are watching and listening should know is a somewhat more detailed history of the settlement patterns in South Africa, because the presumption, first of all, what most people in the West know about South Africa, you could put in a very small thimble with enough room left over for another thimble, and that includes me. And so it's not like I studied that in high school, for example. And so people know nothing about South Africa, like really nothing. And they certainly don't know anything about its settlement patterns. Mm-hmm. And so I suppose people use the analog of the European settlement of the Americas, which is also a very complex story. I mean, by the time the Pilgrims got to the eastern coast of the United States, there are estimates that 95% of the Native Americans had already died from measles, smallpox, mumps, etc. Mm-hmm. And so the settlement story is extremely complex, but it's even more complex in South Africa, and they're not the same. So could you enlighten everyone who's watching and listening about the settlement patterns, the relationship between the land and the Europeans and the Black Africans, and